Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
I have a quote, Brendan, from you from Vanity Fair, and it says that you took this role in part because I wanted to know what I was capable of. What did you learn about maybe yourself or your craft that felt different than shooting other films that you've been in?
It takes an incredibly strong person to inhabit the body that Charlie does, by simple virtue of that I could take all of that apparatus off at the end of the day, but I still had a sort of swimming, undulating sense of almost vertigo. It stayed with me. Yeah. And it gave me a real visceral appreciation or understanding of those who live with eating disorders or obesity. And I think that, judging by the response that we're seeing from The Whale, I think that it's also reorienting the way people feel about those who live with that. And it does my heart good. Yeah. That changed me.
And Sam, this play is 10 years old that the film is based on. When you were writing it, it goes to some very dark places, and yet I left the film feeling fairly optimistic about human nature. How did you figure that out? How do you find that balance between those two? I think things that feel like polar opposites.
Yeah, I mean, I think this play, like a lot of my other play, maybe all of my plays, are in some ways about hard-won hope. Because for me, that's real. Like I do have hope, but I think it's hard won, you know, and I think that's what I really connected to throughout writing this play was I'm not going to shy away from the darker things that I very personally connect to, you know. I mean, I grew up in the town where this play is set, and I was a gay kid in a religious school that taught me that people like me shouldn't exist, and I self-comforted with food for a really long time, and so it comes from, you know, an incredibly personal place in that way.
Brendan, you talked about seeing the suit that you wear, the prosthetic suit that you wear for the first time. Tell me a little bit about that. I understand that it took like 7 hours to put it on in the totality.
At first, the tests were about around that time, just learn how to do it more and more. Adrian Moreau, Canada's own, I should say, got it down to like 2.5 with almost like a pit crew ability, as I could snooze in the chair at 4 o'clock in the morning. But this is a costume and makeup that hasn't been done that I am aware of, and I looked at a lot of bodysuits over the years, and this one obeys gravity and has respect for physics, and uses that reality to inform the performance, to perform the performer instead of the other way around.
Yeah. And so I suppose after the first day, you must have had a different understanding of what it would be to be that size by wearing that suit.
When it came off, I still had a sense of like vertigo almost, and a deeper appreciation for those who can't remove an apparatus as quickly, 4 or 5 hours in, 1 hour out. I felt I was living it, and that was clearly helpful to play the role, and everything else I needed to know were Sam's words and Darren's direction. A director is really just the man who tells you where to go and how to get there, and he tells you what to say along the way, and I felt good hands in that regard.
Sam, what changes did you have to make in terms of creating the cinematic version of The Whale from the stage play?
So, I mean, this has been a really long process. Darren approached me, he saw the play like 10 years ago, and so I've had a really long time to develop the script, and we've done many drafts. And what I'm really happy about is I think a lesser director would do that thing of like, well, we need to open it up. We need to go to school.
Take it out of the apartment.
Exactly, take it out of the apartment. And early on when Darren said, I want to keep it in the apartment, I was so happy, but also, knew it was going to be an incredible challenge, both for me as a screenwriter and also Darren as a director, a challenge that I think he's met beautifully.
Absolutely.
But it was amazing, finding the like visual vocabulary of that apartment, and finding the history of Charlie's life in that apartment and how it's reflected in the physical space was wonderful.
The bookcases were curated with everything that he read to inform us who he was. I mean, at the end of a movie, there's usually like a yard sale, and I wanted to go and clear off the top shelf, but all those books were spoken for. That was Sam's library. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Well, it's a wonderful film. Amazing
Thank you.
performance, beautiful script. Congratulations on it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.